Hey, welcome back. We have an Unboxable podcast here. It's me and James. My name is Roman Peterson. I'll have to introduce myself for the first time here because this is episode one. James, if you want to just introduce yourself real quick, where you're from.
Yeah, name's James Parker from the UK, South London, south of London as well. Um, yeah, we back on it for Unboxable. You lot
Yeah,
about lunch bullshit.
we'll
Wow.
have a multiple podcasts with a lot of different members and stuff. Maybe it'll be us, and we'll just showcase each other's limitlessness. We'll say being unboxable. This isn't really going to have a set topic that we discuss, maybe more so contemporary and like current affairs, you know what I mean? Just because we want to keep people updated. We are a knowledge dissemination platform ultimately. So yeah, so for the first thing we got to start off with obviously is you have a book that you just put out. If you want to say the name of your book, where they could find it, and then we could jump into a little bit of that and then talk about other topics I have prepared for us.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I recently published a book. It's called Crowns and Jewels. You can go grab that on Amazon. It's just a little something that you lot probably need to read. Um, it's quite esoteric in the sense that it's called Crowns and Jewels because it's really the mountaintops of understanding. So you're going to need to connect dots and read in between the lines. But if you understand that book and you get your head around it, you're going to be able to put together exactly all the pieces that you need in order to understand exactly what's going on in the world today. And not just what's going on, how we've come to this point over, well, at least 2,000 years, whatever it is, of the same system being used and the same lies, the same falsehoods, which have now been transposed into a modern and secular ideology, which is essentially still being used to fuck you over. If you understand that, you understand the psychology of the human being as well. If you understand that book, then you can essentially just start looking outside, looking at the news, looking for anything that you're consuming. You can start seeing through every an individual piece of bullshit that you're being fed. It's really that simple. It all comes from awareness and understanding yourself, understanding your own condition, understanding how we've reached this point. And once you understand all those things, you can literally see into the future. You can start to predict exactly what's going to happen. You can start understanding what is happening right now. Yeah, go and check the book out. Crowns and Jewels, James Parker. There's a little preface on there which I have in the introduction. You can look inside the book on Amazon. You can get a sneak peek before you get it. Man, I'll send over the PDF if anyone wants it. It's not about the money. This shit's about getting the information out there. And obviously, if we're going to gain traction, we need people to start realizing the stuff that we're seeing. Because otherwise, without that, we're in a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, the book is I want 9.99, right? So
Yeah,
it's like it's not, yeah, it's only $10. With this is a new podcast, and James already has a whole book written before we start putting content out there and even spreading this media around. So it's not like we're pushing anything to make money. Like we literally made the content first. He made a whole book, and then we get on here just maybe to spread it. Like we're not a, a media pushing platform
no, bro.
or anything like that. He had the whole book done before this is the first podcast. The book's been done, you know what I mean? So, but the first thing I think we should talk about today is I just want to briefly talk about it is like during the Age of Awakening, we see the people in power being politics, the people control the politics, the lobbyists, whatever. Uh, they kind of pulling the free thinkers back into the system, and that's by kind of putting out false idols that have free thinking ideals, kind of by free spirits and stuff. But as you already know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Elon Musk being a person put out there by he's controlled opposition
Yeah.
is the easiest way to put it, and he's put out there by the power regime. Andrew Tate is controlled opposition. I mean, his dad was in the CIA. You
Yeah.
know, he's like the ultimate hack, though, Andrew Tate, because like they have to appeal to a certain audience. But the way, think about it, he's half black, half white. He has an English accent. He grew up in South London. He appeals to American audiences, but he's Muslim.
Yeah, he ticks all the boxes for sure.
Yeah, dude.
That's the thing. That's the thing because when we understand what they need to try and do to falsify things, when we start seeing these names and these faces appearing, you can start understanding just by looking at them and what they need to do in order to keep bullshitting us. You can see that they tick all these boxes, and what they do is they know the kinds of things which need to be heard, and they get someone out there who says something very similar, but at the same time very slightly misleads you onto a wrong path and gives you this sort of, it's a false hero, false prophet, straight up. And they had that podcast with Elon Musk and Andrew Tate and fucking Alex Jones guy completely fucking bullshitting the entire time. It's a joke, bro. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty much what I'm saying is the people in power found some puppets that they can take, put out there, and have everyone think that they're actually like good people. They stand for what's right, especially the people that are really, really critical, free thinkers that do not trust anything. They're trying to pull them back into the system, and they're pulling them back into saying we're conservative pretty much, so they can cast a Hegelian dialect on people being just a divide and conquer thing. Hegelian dialect is conservatives versus obviously liberals. You know what I mean? Through that's a whole different conversation through fire and ice spell casting, which is a different layer.
A good conversation we had though.
Yeah, different layer that we do not need to go to today. We'll keep it kind of surface level.
We can go in, because say something like divide and conquer, right? And this goes into the media and what's been happening. So obviously divide and conquer is a well-known like idea, right? So if you look at, say, over the past 20 years or whatever, if you look at the movements which have happened, okay, so start recently, say you got the war in Russia and Ukraine, so immediately, like in the States or in the UK where we're at, you immediately dislike Russian people, okay? You got COVID happening, that started in a lab in Wuhan or some bullshit, so immediately you dislike Chinese people, okay? Then you got 9/11 bullshit, okay? Now you don't like Muslim people, okay? You got Black Lives Matter, so now you don't like black people. You got Israel. What they're doing is creating a bunch of events. So instead of the people coming together to form against the real opposition, which is the same control power over the entire globe, what they're doing is they're creating opposition between people. So now you're just a white guy, say for instance me or whoever in the States. Now you hate black people. Now you hate Chinese people, you hate Russian people, you hate Mexican people coming over the border, coming up. Now you literally segregated from every single other kind of people that you could join with to fight. They create mass media and mass fucking bullshit to segregate you and divide and conquer you.
Of course, some people will argue that there's like tribalism. People kind of like tend to be with who they are similar to, birds of a feather flock together. And there's other arguments, of course, but the only thing that the media and these different propaganda machines would be doing is playing on those natural instincts, of course, like increasing those lizard, natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Short-sighted, thinking, not thinking.
Yes, exactly. So I don't get when people like Donald Trump. I want to just talk about this a little bit more with these false idols, because Donald Trump operated a really authoritarian like regime, signing a lot of presidential mandates. He authorized Operation Warp Speed, which mass distributed and cleared the vaccines to be given to everyone, and was wearing a mask. He is on the Epstein flight logs, I think 3 different times. I mean, I have all the screenshots and exact pages on the flight logs for which he's on, so those are they're really grabbing just some surface dweller free thinkers, like where they're just a little bit thinking freely, but it's also kind of the times, like the age of Aquarius and how all the knowledge is spreading. Like you're going to get some people that are on different trails and they're dumb, so it's kind of easy to reel them back in anyways. Dumb, misled, don't, whatever it may be. I think personally we don't have classes.
Yeah
Race isn't the thing to be scared. If you're born a certain race, or if you're born a certain really, it's if you're dumb, that's when you get fed on, like straight up. That's when
right. I said it in the book. I said you've been misled into thinking we're involved in some sort of race war. It's nothing to do with race at all. It's a typology, it's a spirit, there's a certain type of person which is finding power in a certain game today, and it's nothing to do with what color they are. It's what type of person they are. They're usually fucking demonic, fucking weak, fucking whatever they are. They're white, black, Asian, but it's not a race war. It's a war against a certain type of spirit. It's about what sort of person you are, what sort of people they like, and they mislead you in various ways by playing on various things. That when you have no awareness of these things and can't even conceive, like, this is what people don't understand. It's like, we're right at the bottom of society right now, pretty much. We're down in the fucking dumps. Like, people can't conceive of the level of the game that people are playing at. We're talking about the people that control the entire world here. These lot aren't fucking stupid. They're very aware of the times. They're very aware of what sort of knowledge is coming out and what could be happening and the things that might upset their power. And they're putting out false. Everything becomes, people, you need to understand that it's not everything just random. Even with something like we were speaking about it the other day, the UFC, the thing with Sean Strickland and that Duplessis guy. The UFC, their goal is to make as much money as possible. So when that event happens and there's a little like scruffle in the crowd, their goal is to make as much money as possible. So that event, if you look at any of the mediums over YouTube, ESPN, MMA, UFC, they've got videos of it, they've got whatever. That's their most viewed video out of the whole weekend of fighting, anything, and that's their most viewed thing. Okay, so if you need to realize that the level that these lot are playing at, they don't just leave things to chance. Their goal is to make as much money as possible. So if that fight or whatever is going to get them, little scuffle is going to get them an extra 100K pay-per-view buys next month, that shit going to be scripted and that shit going to be in front of your eyes before you know it. And even look at it, bro. That shit was WWE if I've ever seen it. Am I wrong or not?
Oh yeah, well they purchased the WWE. The parent organization of the UFC owns the WWE now. Yeah, that was definitely fake.
Yeah, but
all sports are fake and rigged. They're all actors. I'm not saying they're out there acting 3-pointers or acting touchdowns. I'm saying like certain refs are paid off. They have to sign NDAs, meaning non-discretionary agreements, non-disclosure agreements. I mean,
but
they just can't talk.
They sell their soul. It's like, you see, there's someone might come up and they might become this person, do this or whatever, and then they get offered, you get all this money and then you get to live a good life while other people don't. It's like, they join the system. It's like, it benefits them to be part of this game and to bullshit because they're the ones with their money shitting all over you with their nice car and they're not doing whatever they want. That's the essential idea of selling your soul, and that's what happens. And or they're either planted there, or the whole thing's fake, dog. Whole shit's fake. And if you see it in the UFC and you realize those sorts of things, which are being played in front of your eyes and acted as if they're real, you can make that jump and start realizing it across the whole board. Politics, sports, any media, it's all there.
Yeah, it just goes back to that third eye, your pineal gland, your capability to see the truth. You know what I mean? Like to decipher and discern truth from fiction. So this is how this is how things have always ran. You know what I mean? This is nothing new. I don't like Andrew Tate, man. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like Alex Jones. I don't like
any of the names, right?
Joe Biden. I don't like Kamala Harris, Obama. I don't like no politician. They're all paid off. They're just different parties, power tripping, fighting each other. Really, they're together.
They're exactly the same, dog. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. You vote in this one, you vote in that one, you vote in. Nothing changes, dog. That's what people don't realize. They get sold a dream, and they're like, "Oh, they vote in the next person." It's like, gee, you ain't even got a vote to begin with, and the person you do vote in is that the same thing, bro.
Yeah, exactly, dude. They thought they could just pay off a bunch of anti-establishment figures in like the media space to work for them now, and like people like they thought people would buy it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna pay off these dudes and have them work for us and say the Republican, and the Republicans are gonna save the world.
Yeah.
Republicans shit for fucking half the fucking 400 years they've controlled the fucking office.
Yeah, dude.
It's changed from Whigs and whatnot. I know but it's pretty much always been a two-party system. Originally, it wasn't. George Washington warned against that, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, even the two-party system, they make it seem like it's a mad divide. It's like the left and the right. Oh, this like if you had like a spectrum of all the different possible political systems and parties or whatever, right, going from here to here, the left and the right that we see today, which are so like diametrically opposed, are literally like that close. Literally like exactly the same. Basically exactly the same on any single thing. Same political system, same sorts of people, same, do you know what I'm saying? Same economy. Oh shit, bullshit.
Yeah, the one thing that we really can't let slide is the kid shit, is the fact that they're all freak shows, pedophiles, touch kids, harvest kids. You know what I mean? Like that's the one that you guys might be able to slide with some other weird shit the government does in these freak shows, but like that's probably where we got to draw the line, huh?
Yeah, do that shit in the UK, bro. The whole royal family, that Prince Andrew bullshit on the same Epstein bullshit, on the same shit. And that's even just what guys, the Hillary Clinton bullshit come out. Right, even what do I want to say?
I think one of these freak shows are going to come out some soon and be like, we're like a self-sustaining free energy mechanism in ourselves in the sense that we can eat what we birth and go forever.
Yeah, they're gonna come out with some bullshit, bro. But I was just thinking as well, that podcast, I said it was like Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, or whatever. I was listening to some of it, and obviously by about 5 minutes, you kind of just want to throw up, so you kind of have to stop listening. But yeah, even the way that they speak is such a trap. Like if you see the stuff that say Elon Musk says he's right, he's really focused on getting you to think elsewhere. He's like, we want to be a multi-planetary species, like somewhere in space, somewhere Mars, somewhere else, somewhere. And you look at like Andrew Tate, and what he says, he's like, oh, gives you all this advice, and then he's like, join the real world, which is a link to a website. But I'm saying join the real world, put a link to a website. Yeah, but they're getting you. They don't want you looking in front of your eyes. What's going on? Elon Musk, this guy, trying to get you think. Oh, look in the star, multi-planetary in the star. Andrew Tate, oh, join the real world. This website on the screen here, like that's why it feels so unnatural to me. Trying to speak and communicate over this like virtual medium because it's fucking like this shit is fucking like devolution here. Like we're fucking not even speaking to each other in real life. We're like speaking to each other over fucking like some bullshit ass screen here, and they're trying to make it sound like progress. Trying to tell you join the real world, link to the website here. Like what? How do people even not even realizing that, bro? Locking you down in a fucking room basically the whole time. Well, they were especially here during COVID, still doing it. Can't go out. Can't spend most of your time indoors, sat down, completely unnatural environment. Everyone's segregated. You got your own bank. I own this. No one lives by their family. You should be having your whole family around you. You should be waking up every day with blessings with your ancestors and everyone there, with your whole family tree in the same place. Someone lives here, they live over there, they're over there. The whole thing's segregated. You can't even get together with your people, let alone fucking find the right way forward. Whole thing's a setup. As far as I'm concerned, the whole thing is a setup, bro. Whole shit's a trap.
There's definitely a lot of traps laid here and there. You got to think about it the right way, though. Can't like be schizophrenic thinking like, the government's fucking listening to everything you're saying.
I love it. Let me say schizophrenic. My buddy said, I write like a schizophrenic, apparently. If you want to see how a schizophrenic writes a book, make sure you go cop mine, because apparently my friend, I write like a schizophrenic. So.
Well,
Funny as hell.
well, there's a saying that I like, and it's the same waters that the crazy person drowns in, the mystic swims in delight. So when you have a bunch of thoughts and these things get coming into your head, and ultimately you as a brain have to audit and understand these electrical impulses you're receiving from a core that's other than yourself. Unless you're smart, like there's just gonna be random shit popped in your head. You don't know what it means, don't know how to decode it. You might be getting the keys to the fucking universe if you know how to decode this shit. Like you might be getting light codes right to your brain. You know what I mean? But you go crazy because your sense, your intellect, and able to decode the light is not there. So it's just like you're getting a bunch of shit, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You just go crazy. Some people though can understand what that shit means. Like it could come to them. Some person might have went insane because someone was telling them that fucking to make a fucking robot that is ones and zeros, but the other person didn't go insane, they made it.
Yeah,
It's a computer, you
exactly.
know?
Yeah, you receive them, and then there's obviously, the hardest part, especially about writing a book, is actually writing it down. Like I can understand a lot of shit and speak about it with people. The most difficult part is getting it onto paper. And the book itself, it's only 72 pages, which in itself is relatively short. But if I were to seriously expand on every single thing that I said and explain it in like articulate detail, that book would be about 7,200 pages long. I'm being deadly serious. That is literally like the most dense and the most like literal like top of the like tip of the iceberg, and you've got to like read in between the lines and dig deep yourself, because there's a lot of keys there and they open a lot of other doors as well, but there's only so much you can say.
Yeah, just to put in perspective, I bet like when Nikola Tesla was talking about the ideas of free energy transfer through wireless, things like this, wireless free energy transfer, people thought he was crazy, you know, but he didn't think he was crazy. He thought he had the future. He just thought he was engineering the future. And now, if you think about it, maybe the people that get these gifts and get these light codes and stuff, you know, and I'm not saying all of them are good. I think some people do get like demon light, like bad lower vibrational light codes, like you know, because that's the only thing they could take for one, and
That's who
two,
they
it's like
are.
kill your mom.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. It's a spiritual war. There are people born like that who are almost working for that energy and that thing, and they get that type of energy, and that's who they work for and what they work for. And obviously, we're working against them. So it's
Yeah,
war.
and it might be like kill your mom, fucking shoot this school up, or fucking, you know, fucking literally like if you're fucking if you can if those that's what you're working for, that's what you're harvesting, you know, that's your vibration. You get those bad vibrations, you know,
Yeah,
those light codes.
that's fact. I was going to say
That's
something else as well. You just bringing on Tesla. This makes me laugh. So you think of like someone like Tesla, right? Like free energy, like wireless, like extracting it from the atmosphere, essentially what like the Egyptians were doing or they've been doing, which has been here. And then you get someone like Elon Musk, right? So you got Tesla with the electric, like, so people don't really know what Tesla was doing. They just know about Tesla or electricity, right? So in the modern day, you flip it forward, like compared with the ignorance of people, they see Elon Musk come through with a electric car called Tesla, and they think of that as almost like the next step of what Tesla was doing. It's like if you actually look at what he was doing, Tesla was saying free electricity, and then you got Elon Musk selling electric cars for with fucking like billions of dollars of profit. He's literally doing the exact opposite thing that Tesla was saying, and he's associating that name with himself. And then what they do, it's like Elon Musk is like, oh, he lives in this cheap house and he has no car, but he's got these billions of dollars. It's like, bro, people out here struggling to put a roof over their head, bro. People can't even be with their family, eat food, and you got people there trying to back off the name of someone like Tesla who was saying to do it free. And you're creating a company trying to back use his name on the same bullshit to make billions of pounds or dollars or whatever it is, and just to keep it for yourself. Like that is literally like if I could put the devil in like a fucking like that is it, bro. There's no heart there. There's no feeling of humanity. There's no love. It's literally selfish greed, and it's fucking disgusting. And this
so
is
that makes sense. The story is the devil can't like really create anything. He can only like change it or invert it, and that's kind of like Tesla inverted. You know, like a greedy billionaire that monopolized an industry, doesn't let anyone work on his vehicles or anything, and
yeah,
trying to I don't know. He can say whatever he wants, dude, but you're trying to put microchips in people's heads, and you have a car that you could turn off from anywhere in the world, and you know, like
yeah.
I don't know.
But
It's well, we actually do know, but the worst part about all this is that let's talk about Tesla a little bit. To take it a step up, you said free electricity, wireless free electricity everywhere, wireless free electricity everywhere.
completely different conception to how you.
Completely different conception.
Yeah,
Like pretty much makes energy free. That's like the biggest. That's everything we eat and drink, plastic, all that pretty much is like petrol products, unless it's pure beef, dairy. You know, all these dog food, fucking Nabisco crackers and goldfish and shit are all petrol fucking
yeah.
byproduct food. You know, it's dog food.
Yeah, but it can be monetized. If you can like get free electricity or like generate electricity, not in the sense that people think of electricity today, but in an entirely different way, and you can do it in that way. You can't monetize it. And obviously the whole game is to get you working, get you wasting your time, to get you worrying about this, that, and the other, so they can fucking, instead of you realizing who you are, how you should be living, to throw you straight into the bullshit, to get yourself programmed, become obedient, to go straight into waste all your time doing something, and then when you've been to work, you get home, you got no time. What you do, you just like, my life shit. Let me just watch something. Let me just do this, do that. Waste your time because you ain't even got no time to figure shit out. Whole thing is literally designed fuck you over, bro. And I can't say
Yeah,
any clearer. Like that's literally how I see it, bro. That's literally how I see it. It's literally how I
I
see it.
think just like in the spiritual realm, like intellectually, right, we would understand that everything's kind of a power grab. Even when you start getting up, you start looking at them weirdos with all the money in the world. You know, they have all the money, so now it's like kind of like a power trip, a power grab. But you know,
Yes.
rather. So I think that the power grab in that realm and how it works in the spiritual realm kind of reflects like the power in the physical world, meaning like if you control the power in the real world, like the physical world, you could like it's huge. Like it's just like controlling all the power in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a way to undermine it all. So if you revolutionize the way electricity energy for the whole world is done and you make it free and wireless and everyone can have it, it's literally pretty much ascension. Like we're pretty much going up to a new dimension. We're not fucking living in lower vibrational states of fear, crime, like it's
Yeah.
like a whole different world
But
because
into
like you
a
change
lower
the whole
state.
power base.
Yeah, exactly. But so what they do is they're like, if you like say even something like the creation of money, it changes the whole game into something where like you can twist. If there's like a state of nature or like how things are flowing naturally, if you create a new game where it's like you need to now get like instead of just living with this electricity and with all the things that we would have and should have, if you now create a new game where it's like, oh, you need to now do this like to get this money, it switches the entire game up on the thing. It's like there's people that print the money. So it's like they can, if like most people like, oh, okay, we haven't got money. Say someone like Andrew Tate or whatever, but they money, money, money. They're just like, oh, here's fucking 20 fucking million, just like fucking numbers in a fucking bank. Even like money itself for me is literally part of the scam. Like the concept of money, like it changes. It's a way to manipulate and change the natural structure into something else to create like a new,
Slavery.
yeah, like a new dynamic, a new order, like a new different way to create it so that other people who obviously like print them, own the money, own the banks, all the that they're now up here.
Yeah, it creates a new power dynamic, like a
Yeah,
new medium of power, pretty much that
yeah,
they facilitate and control.
yeah. That's exactly what I mean. If it creates a whole new dynamic, and it's not just like you can start from nothing and get your way. It's like no, you will never get in the position. Like even the people that think have power, like the presidents and shit, they're so far off being in a position of that ultimate power. Like people don't understand. If you were like running the world, bro, you would not be spending your time fucking going to fucking little White House meetings or fucking going up to the front fucking podium talking about dude's a puppet, bro. Any one of them are fucking puppets. You would not be seen. You're not seen anywhere. You're not known. But obviously with the eye and seeing behind stuff, working off very limited information based off knowledge of yourself, knowledge of the world, you can start figuring exactly out what's being done because you start to understand how you should be living, how you should be functioning, what you should be doing. And then when you realize everything else is being pushed in the opposite direction to what you should be doing and how what you want to be doing, how you want to be living, that's basically the ultimate realization. It's like, oh, shit ain't random, shit ain't progress, shit ain't just how it is. It's like, no, that's it. Literally everything's opposite to how you really want to be living. So it's like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah, we're inside Plato's cave right now, brother.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're not, but the whole fucking everyone is.
Yeah, we're not, but that's why we're in such a tough situation because it's like, you know, it's one of those ones where like you think you've done the hard part and then you realize the hard part's yet to come. It's like, oh, you've broken out, you've done this, you've realized it, and then you're like, oh fuck, like how the fuck are we gonna do something about this? And all we can do is just try and get the knowledge out there for as long as we're here and God willing, you know what the rest is going to happen.
Yeah, the problem today, and the good thing about today, is that how far we are technologically. So we have so much gadgets and technology now that it makes it easy, but at a certain point of technology, do you pass that and it starts like that de-evolution process comes
Yeah.
in, and then you de-evolve completely to the point where you're back at stage one?
Yeah, that's good because yeah, it's one of those ones where it like could potentially be easy because if we found a way to make it so you could access more people using that medium, but then it's also like what are the chances of that? Like the potential upsides are massive with the access and what you can do using it, but then at the same time it's like think about how much more misled people are and how much more out of tune people are with the reality in front of their eyes, with all the information that they've got, with all the bullshit they're consuming from day to day on every single, people can't even get away from, this is like you've got reality around you, like with your eyes and your senses, and people are spending their time living inside of a screen, inside of the real world, thinking that's the world. You know what I'm saying? Shit's literally like a step removed away from reality, like a virtual false, like inferior reality inside of reality itself. It man, we're in such a strange and crazy position. It's a blessing, and you know what? It's like we're just trying our best, man. You know what I mean? We've been plopped here. We're just trying our best, bro.
Humans we worked so hard for so long that we worked ourselves into another box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they fucking worked so hard and built so much crazy shit that the only thing that left with the build was an even fucking smaller, more controlled box.
Yeah, literally. But even some of that, I think, is part of the ideals, which this is also in my book. This is part of the ideals where, say, like with Christianity or something, it gets you focusing on another world, like an afterlife, something perfect, something here, not something that you don't think's here, right? Something heaven's not, it's not on earth. We can't have that on earth. Something next. It's like a different world, something separate. So even for me, the technology is almost like a mimicking and sort of a consequence of the death of those beliefs into becoming a reality that people are trying to actually obtain. And that's like kind of how I view the simulation and obviously the brain chips. Like people, like dude, everything gets pushed with like health reasons, right? Oh, we're trying to help someone without something, we're trying to help this. It's like, dog, that brain chip within about 5 years of its release is going to be in every kid's fucking brain at fucking high school. Like, oh, dude, you got the iPhone 2 fucking nano chip, man. Like, they're going to be getting it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just so obvious to see that natural progression. And it's going to be, everything's made so it's like irrational and, oh, it's started with this. And it's a bunch of bullshit, dog, honestly.
Yeah, the brain chip is Neuralink that Elon Musk has created. I think it's already a thing. I think he already has it.
Of course.
Now it's in FDA testing. So, but that's what he was talking about.
Shit's just, they're just rolling shit out at this point. Shit's already there. Shit's just being rolled out as and when.
Yeah, I don't know. So pretty much the point that I'm trying to get across this episode, maybe not even a point. It's more like a couple smooth hills that we can roll over. Is that I don't trust Elon Musk. I don't trust Donald Trump. I don't trust Joe Biden. I don't trust either side of any political party. Honestly, I just don't. That's how it is. I just don't.
They're playing the system, they're not fighting it. So if you see there's people up there who are playing the system, regardless of what they say, like, oh, we're fighting doing this, it's like if you look at their actions rather than their words, because actions speak louder than words, they ain't fighting jack shit. They're benefiting off the same system we're fighting. So they can go and fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing as every other age-old politician. They're telling you they're going to change all this shit, and then nothing gets changed.
Yeah.
And then time goes on. They're just doing it with a little bit fancier of a fucking skirt and fucking high heels on this time. You guys are fucking taking the bait.
We've got a minute left going there, bro. We'll fucking
Yeah, so we're gonna have to conclude the first episode here on Unboxable Podcast. Once again, it's James Parker. He's bowling out in London right now. My name is Roman Peterson. I am in Agartha. So, all right, brother.
Yeah,
I'll
do that.
see you. Catch you another time.
All right, peace out.